Swiss banking has long captivated Hollywood's imagination with characters like James Bond. The world is not enough. Bond famously quips, "If you can't trust a Swiss banker, what's the world come to?" Hollywood often portrays Swiss banks as havens for illicit activities like tax evasion and money laundering, and undoubtedly there's some truth to these portrayals. However, the primary reason why the rich flock to Swiss banks goes beyond these stereotypes. It's a reason that likely resonates with you as well. So join us as we uncover why rich people love Swiss banks and explore why you might need a Swiss bank account today more than ever. Swiss banks have maintained a solid reputation since the 16th century, stemming from Switzerland's strategic geographical positioning at the crossroads of France, Germany, and Italy. This location made Switzerland a natural refuge for many Europeans during turbulent times. Despite being small, landlocked, and lacking significant natural resources, Switzerland capitalized on the influx of skilled refugees from Europe. However, the spotlight truly shone on Swiss banks with the enactment of the pivotal 1973 law. The Great Council of Geneva passed a law that no bank will share any details of its customers. And that's when the tables turned for Switzerland's economy. Many rich people from Europe, Germany, and France started saving money in Swiss banks, and that's how Swiss banks became famous all over the world for their culture of secrecy. After this, the Swiss government again passed the Banking Act of 1934, and according to Article 47, if any bank or banker shares the information of customers with governments or tax agencies from all over the world, then it's a punishable offense. Now, let's unveil the top 4 reasons wealthy elites flock to Swiss banks. Number 1. Privacy and tax evasion. Privacy was the #1 reason why these accounts gained popularity among millionaires across the globe after 1973. Because of the above-mentioned laws, Swiss banks have become a haven for wealthy individuals. Originally, this was all to ensure the trust of people from the world and to provide depositors with more privacy and security. Back in the 1970s and even in the 1980s, a person from any country could bring a bag full of millions to a Swiss bank and put that money into a numbered account and nobody would know about it. And what else do these wealthy individuals need? Thanks to these policies, no one can assess how much money they have in their accounts. Moreover, no one can dare to even ask from where they have earned these millions. Apart from privacy, another key aspect of this system is tax evasion. In 1800, countries in the world started the system of income taxes. For instance, on 5th August 1861, USA implemented its first income tax of 3%. Starting from a couple of percent annually, it did not take them long to grow into double and even triple digits. And that's when people started looking for ways to avoid paying these taxes on their earned money. Given the privacy and security of these banks, Swiss banks became a haven for rich people who wanted to avoid taxes. Today in 2024, these policies have changed somehow, and now government officials as well as tax agencies have access to your Swiss bank accounts. However, even with the decreased levels of banking privacy, wealthy people from different nationalities continue to bank in Switzerland. But why do the rich still love Swiss banks? Well, there are a few primary reasons for their persisting love, starting with its neutrality politics. Number 2. Neutrality in politics. Political neutrality is one of the key aspects that Switzerland has. Like if Russia had such types of banks, Americans would have avoided depositing their money no matter how good the bank is. Switzerland, on the other hand, has no enemy. During the Cold War, when countries were forced to choose a side between the Soviet Union and the US, Switzerland remained neutral. During World War II also, Switzerland chose the path of neutrality, which is why after 1951 there was no engagement of Switzerland in any conflict, and they have maintained positive diplomatic relationships with every single country. So for many millionaires from war-torn countries like Afghanistan, Iraq, China, and Russia, Switzerland was the ultimate haven where they could park their money. That's why Swiss banks have remained number one on the priority list of these rich people. Even today, as the Russia and Ukraine war is ongoing, many rich Russians and Ukrainians must have deposited their money in Swiss banks. But for Western billionaires, political instability is not a big deal. What is a major deal for billionaires from the West is inflation. Number 3. Inflation rates and stable economy. The Swiss franc is one of the strongest currencies of the world right now, with an inflation rate that is close to zero. Can you think of another currency with this low inflation rate, or a currency that does not fluctuate? I know in recent times every currency is losing its value and inflation is a bigger threat now than ever. Even US Federal Reserves ensure that inflation is temporary and we will average this high rate of 2 to 3%. But for people with millions of dollars, even a year of increased inflation is quite expensive. For instance, with an inflation rate of 5% instead of 4% annually, you just burn an extra $10 million worth of purchasing power if you have $1 billion in cash. On the other hand, by putting $1 billion in Swiss banks, you can avoid high inflation as the country has had a low overall inflation rate over the past 20 years. You must be surprised to know that Switzerland even experienced 5 years of negative inflation, indicating the currency has gained more power with each passing year. If we have a look at the stats between 1999 and 2018, the average inflation rate in the country was only 0.51% compared to the average global inflation rate, which was 3%. In short, Swiss currency gains about 2.5% in value if we compare it to other currencies. Its growth is quite evident from the fact that in 2003, with $1 you could get 1.37 Swiss francs, but now even in 2024, with $1 you can't even get a full Swiss franc. The same is true for the British pound. In 1975, the British pound was equal to 6 Swiss francs, but now it's equivalent to only 1.11 Swiss franc. In short, the British pound dropped 5 times in value in 2024. You see, Switzerland takes the value of its currency extremely seriously because they are aware that the Swiss banking system is its crown jewel. That is why they will do everything, including negative interest rates, to lower inflation. I know the negative interest on bank deposits sounds astounding at first glance. So should you discard the idea of Swiss banks due to negative interest? Well, not necessarily. Let's break it down. You deposit $100 in a bank elsewhere in Europe, and let's say the interest rate is 2%. At the end of the year, you'll have $102 in your account, but the purchasing power of these dollars will likely decrease due to inflation. In essence, you're effectively experiencing negative interest despite the nominal gain. Even if you manage to find higher interest rates elsewhere, inflation tends to outpace those rates, especially when dealing with US dollars. If we sum this up, negative interest will be compensated for by the almost zero inflation rate in Switzerland, and your money is going to be 100% secure. Now you know why, despite everything, millionaires love the Swiss banking system and prefer this model. Number 4. Foreigners-friendly policies. Besides the numerous advantages, Swiss banks attract foreigners due to their foreign-friendly policies. Anyone from millionaires to individuals like you and me, regardless of nationality, can easily open a Swiss account. To do so, you need to be at least 18 years old and can select from currencies like Swiss francs, US dollars, or euros. However, the catch is that you must maintain a minimum balance of 1 million Swiss francs. Additionally, you'll need a passport valid for at least 6 months, a comprehensive resume detailing your skills and previous employment history, and you must provide documentation regarding the source of the funds you intend to deposit. It's time to wrap up today's video here. Tell us in the comments section, Have you guys ever considered opening a Swiss bank account? And of course, make sure to press on the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you want more interesting videos in the coming days.